Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is Sheila Bila coming to you with another review of Tyler Perry's Sistas Season 6, Episode 18 from the Blindside. Yeah, this episode was a whole mess. When I tell y'all this episode was a whole mess, I was like, Gary, you know you need a whooping. Anyway, y'all, this is Sheila Bila. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe if you get anything out of my content. If you hit that like button, it does help me out through the algorithm, and more people will start to view my content. So, yeah, this episode, please let me know what you thought. Did y'all already think that? Because we already knew that Gary was sneaky, but did we think that he was sneaky? Well, I guess so, because he was cheating on his wife with Andy. Child, Andy got slapped in the face this episode. I ain't gonna even lie. All right, so it picks up where it left off last week, right? So the girls were over to Jordan's house. And they were looking around the house and they were saying this house is very beautiful. Sabrina said that Andy did nice. Apparently, Andy know how to pick the men with the money, so she did nice. And then they go out to the patio, smelling the good food, the aroma, everything is just good, right? So then they look over there to the left, or maybe it's to the right, because sometimes I don't know my left or my right, but it's okay. You know, it is what it is. But I'm gonna say the left. She look over there, and Jordan is like, yeah, this is Gary. And Gary, this is Andy. Child, they looking at each other like, ooh, 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 ooh. And Gary like, I don't know her. Anyway, Gary looking at Andy talking about some hell we met. Andy like, of course we met. Gary said, I don't think so. I'm just like, okay, you just was in her office the other day. What you mean you ain't met her? Right? But Gary think he's slick. He like, you know what, Jordan? You have an incredible place. And I'm so sorry you going through this divorce. It can be rough, but I got to get out of here. And I'm like, so you finna leave? Because Gary looking like, am I missing something? You know, my sister, she on the way. And then he's telling Gary, dang, we don't even spend a lot of time together. Like, you gotta go. Like, why you gotta go? And Gary says, no, you're not leaving. We don't get to spend that much time together. And plus, my sister is on the way. So while Gary trying to figure out a reason to leave the house, you got the other girls over there on the other side at the table. They looking. So Sabrina is like, why is Gary here? And so the other guys, they like, so y'all know Gary? They was like, yeah, you know, we know him from around the way. Like, we know Gary. And Danny over there like, this ain't good. You know, Danny got her 10 head on. Like, what's really going on here? So nobody really understands why Gary is here. Because at first I was sitting here thinking, I was like, well, maybe this is the guy that Gary was saying that his friend on a dating site. At first I was thinking that. And then I was thinking, well, maybe they just know each other and they friends. And he keeps saying his sister is on the way. So maybe maybe Gary is just dating Jordan's sister. So I'm thinking maybe he don't want Andy to see his little date on the side. That's what I'm thinking, child. Somebody slapped me in my face and called me silly because Gary trying to get up out of here. He trying to get up out of here like his pants on fire, right? So Danny leaving, and Sabrina is like, "Hey, Jordan, how do you know Gary?" Gary ain't trying to answer nobody questions. And then so the ladies they go into another room, right? And Danny just like, what's tea? Because one thing about Danny, she gonna get to the bottom line of what's really going on. She can do that in everybody's relationship but her own, but that's another story. So we on Danny right now. So Danny called Gary in the house like, hey, Gary, you know, what's going on? What you got going on? And then Tony, he over there in the background talking about, man, you know you ain't no stranger to a good time. You know you are a wingman. So I'm thinking, okay, so, you know, they probably all go out. They probably hang out. And, you know, Gary probably talking to Jordan's sister. That's I'm still thinking, right? So Gary keeps talking about he got to make a phone call. So maybe I'm thinking he trying to make a phone call to Jordan's sister to say, don't show up. Meet me over at the bar. But no, I guess that phone call didn't go through because all of a sudden, Miss Baby Mama, which her name is Penelope, walks through the door. And I was like, Gary got a baby mama. What? So come to find out, they looking stunned. And so they like, oh, so you're pregnant. Well, that's Andy. So you're pregnant. And she said, yes, it's our first one. Your first one? Yeah, me and my fiance. Your fiance? Gary, baby. We've been together for 3 years. Hold on. What? So all of this has been downloaded. Penelope and Gary are about to be married. They've been dating for 3 years. The same time that he's been dating Andy. And I think he been dating Andy longer than 3 years, right? Well, I know it's been a long time, but they've been going off and on a break. So maybe during that break time, he ended up getting with Penelope and they just never cut it off, child, whatever. All right. So Penelope is happy. She just rubbing on her little belly, honey. Like, yeah, and she's never met Andy. So she's like, oh, you're Andy. My brother says he really likes you. Okay, so all that's going on. Come on, baby Gary. He comes in, right? And then they start kissing. He said he misses her and he's about to go home. And Penelope said, no, you don't want to go home. You just need to cuddle. You need your cuddle time. They over there looking like, nigga, cuddle time. What is that? Then they start doing Eskimo kisses. When you rub the noses against each other? Yeah, those are called Eskimo kisses. So but they said it's cuddle time. And I was just like, ooh, Andy, how you feel, girl? I know your stomach hurt because I would have been passing gas out in them people place. You know how you get nervous. I just would have been real nervous, right? But anyway, so they telling each other they love each other and she loves him and she don't want him to leave because they work or he works all the time and you're going to stay for a while. You're going to stay. You're going to be here. And Gary's like, no, but he's still trying to leave. But she said, you staying, and it is what it is. So Penelope really wants to know about Andy, right? So, Andy, how are you? Right? But what happens is before they really start to talk, the men end up going to another room and the girls, they just go over to the side to talk. Right? So this time they talking without Penelope because, it's just Sabrina. Did I get a picture of that? Yeah. It's just Sabrina, Andy, and Danny. So they just trying to gather up their thoughts like what is really going on, right? So Andy says she doesn't like this at all. Like they've been together the whole time. Danny wanted to talk to her to figure out what's going on. And Andy just wants Danny to be quiet because she's pregnant and she doesn't want to upset her. She's like, the girl is real happy. We don't want her to have no miscarriage or nothing, so we just gonna keep it cute, right? She just gonna keep it cute. She want to talk to us. We gonna give her limited information. We not gonna let her know what's going on, right? But Danny is like, no, I ain't gonna do it. I won't do it. I'm gonna tell it. So meanwhile, they over there trying to figure out their life, and you have Karen. She at her house, right? So she get a knock at the door, and it's Brian, right? Contractor Brian. So Brian comes to her. He says that, he has the estimates for her shop and he wants her to take a look at it. And I think he said, did he say he called his son? He called somebody and told that person, she's a single black, beautiful woman and she needs our help. I'm like, well, God dog, ain't you married with 7 kids? You really landed on thick talking about she beautiful and black. Okay. Anyway, but she is beautiful and black, but come on. We know what you're doing. So he gives her the estimate. Karen is looking like, man, this kind of high, but he said he called around and he found the best price. But Karen says, well, you know what? I trust you. And then he says, you can contact your insurance company. She says she doesn't have any, but she says she trusts him anyway. And he said it'll take about 5 months. So then he says this. Karen says, how do you know that I'm a single mother? Okay, he said he overheard Pam and her talking and Pam talk loud. So, okay, whatever. And so then Brian says, if you need any help, with the baby, let me know. She's like, hold on, help? What do you mean help? He was like, clothes, shoes, or whatever the help he need because he got 7 kids and he's a baby expert, him and his wife. And he just want to let her know that she in his corner. So what y'all think about Contractor Brian? Because he really landed on thick like he loved his wife and his kids, but you coming over to this lady house, was he unannounced? I mean, did she know he was coming over? I really don't know. But I know he knocked at that door and she seemed like she was confused as to why you was coming over there. I mean, that could have waited till in the morning. Anyway, so Brian leaves, and then she calls Karen calls Pam on the phone and asks her to pick up some stuff at the supply store. And Pam like, you ain't gotta be having me pick up none of no supply store or whatever. But then she said she got an account and all that stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much what that. Just go pick up the stuff at the supply store. All right. So now you have Maurice and Calvin. And Maurice, he said he want to just go out and he want to let his hair down and he want to dance. He want to go to the gay bar. Calvin wants to go with him. Calvin don't care that it's a gay bar. He says he just want to dance, right? And so he started dancing, talking about I can, I will, I can, I will, I can, right? So Maurice said he just gonna find him a man to bring home. Calvin says, no, you don't need to just bring no one in his house this time. But Calvin says that he wants Maurice to find a good guy. And then Maurice gonna talk about the only good guy you know is Sabrina. I was like, really? Maurice? Okay, whatever. But Calvin insists on having him date a nice guy because we don't need no more cute stuff happening. And child, Maurice talking about his dick allowed. You know what? I'm not going into that. But it is what it is. They're going to go out, let their hair down, have a good time, right? Yes. All right. So now you have Zach and Fatima. So they outside baby Michael house. Well, Heather house. And they just waiting, right? So they call Wesley on the phone and have them to meet up. Wesley is the lawyer. So they call him so they can meet up at 8 o'clock in the morning because they're really trying to get baby Michael home. And Fatima gets off the phone and Zach is just like, what does that mean? Fatima says she doesn't know. And so he just like, because he really concerned. He don't want his baby there. So Fatima said we can either leave or we can go in and try to go get baby Michael. But Zach says no, he want to do it the right way. He said, I just want to go check on him. So they get out the car and then that's when they meet the neighbor outside. And so the neighbor comes out and she says that she heard that the police was called on Zach. And she was she said that's messed up, right? Because it's crazy. Like I said on my last review, it's crazy that the police will go pick up Zach, but they won't go over there and help that baby while he in that house getting beat up on like that. That's crazy. But the neighbor says that she ain't there and they ain't been there all day. And she said they probably took him to the hospital because he was crying and limping. She not for sure why, but she said he ain't there. And so the neighbor is saying like, because Fatima asked the neighbor, how do you know they went to the hospital? She said she really don't know for sure. So then the neighbor get all defensive, like, why you asking? You think I'm nosy? I'm like, yeah, girl, you nosy. But anyway, she said, I don't have nothing to do but be nosy. So how you gonna ask the question, do you think that I'm nosy? And then turn right back around and say, I ain't got nothing to do but be nosy. Cause you old. Okay, nosy old neighbor. Anyway, so then the neighbor lets them know that, it used to be a lot of men running in and out that house, but whatever Fatima done, they not running in and out that house no more. And she was telling Fatima, thank you for that. And then Zach is like, okay, well, Fatima said, do you have my number? She said, well, yeah, I think I still got it. And Zach is so grateful for the information. He gives her some money, right? So I'm thinking in my mind, if some man give me a water, I was like, I wonder how much money that is. So if this man giving me some money, I'd be like, okay. But she gets offended again. And she's just like, you don't need to give me no money. What you think I need your money? You think I'm going to take your money? I'm trying to look out for that baby. That's all I'm trying to do. And then you gonna try to offer me a money. You think you come around here with your fancy car and think, oh, you can just give me money I'm supposed to be okay? I'm like, girl, calm down. He was just saying thank you. But then Zach, he became very apologetic. He was like, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He was just saying he was sorry. But then her tune changed, right? So then she said, hold on. Because they was about to walk off. She said, hold on. Wait 1 minute. Don't lay one more foot down in front of you. So she said, hold on. So she said that she's sorry, and you said that you sorry. And since you didn't mean to insult me, go ahead and give me that money. I said, girl, you know you need that money. Why are you sitting over here doing all that yapping like that for? Somebody, since you said you sorry and you said that you sorry, go ahead and give me that money. I know you wasn't there trying to insult me. I was like, you did all that for that. But it is good that she is looking out for them, right? So she like they informant for real. But you know what? It's cool because she been calling the police all this time. She need to get compensated for her hard work. Shoot, I'm gonna go out there and watch too. You gonna give me some money. So she can take the night shift. I'll take the day shift. Child, give me some money. I'll watch. Anyway, so Zach and Fatima, they go try to find Michael. So they run around here to these hospitals trying to figure out which one he is. Because they said, she ain't got no insurance. So they don't know. They probably went down there to the county. All right, she should have Medicaid or something, right? You can get that if you want it. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So Karen, she calls Pam on the phone. And Pam calls Karen and she says she got a list of everything. And then Pam tells Karen that the contractor came over and she told him Pam told Karen that it's gonna take about 5 months, and she like, dang, or whatever. Then she says that then Karen asks Pam to work for her part-time. I was like, girl, how you gonna pay her? So then when I asked Karen how she gonna pay Pam, then Pam asks, so how I'm gonna get paid? That's what I said. But anyway, so Karen's whole thing is she's going to start doing hair in her home. So Pam like, oh, so you're going to be like a kitchen beautician. Okay, I go to a lot of, look, I got 3 beauticians. I got a girl at a shop, and I got a girl at a fancy shop, and then I got a girl that do hair at her house. One for the braids, one for the slick down ponytails, and then one for the unnatural blowouts. One for the sew-ins. You gotta have a collective of beauticians, because some people can specialize in different ways. Everybody can't lay that 30-inch bust down like that braid girl. Like everybody can't braid like that. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no wrong with going to a kitchen. She wash her hair in the sink and everything. Me and she turn around and clean her sink and put some fried stuff. She cleans what they do, they wash their hair in the sink and then turn around and clean some chicken in the sink. You know what? I'm finna digress, but I did see somebody gonna say, how you gonna wash your hair in the sink and then you turn around and put your chicken in the sink and wash it? I was like, Chad, all that mess that be, you put dirty dishes in the, but you know what? It is what it is. Some people don't do that and some people do. Some people go to the bathtub, but you got a dirty, Chad. Everything that's dirty can be clean. That's all I say. Ooh, I shouldn't even start talking about that. But anyway, so yeah, Pam started asking about what you gonna do about all the chemicals and stuff like that, because she pregnant and they in this little bitty, in this apartment and all that stuff. And then Pam was like, they gonna have to do something with the windows and all that. But then Karen said, we could do it at your place. Karen said, we could do it at your place. Pam said, no, and I don't even want all them people in my house like that. Which I wouldn't want all them people in my house like that either. But I guess Karen needs the money. So then Karen asked Pam to call these different people, and then she talking about using up her minutes. Who has minutes? Like, this ain't 1990. Shoot, this ain't even the early 2005s. Like, who got minutes? When did they stop using minutes? Because I remember everything started being unlimited. Like in 2000 and, girl, 98, 99, 2000. Anyway, don't nobody use minutes no more. That's all I'm saying. Okay. So then Pam says you need to call Aaron. Maybe he can help you. Or call Zach. But Pam said, nah, you going to call them boys down there at that salon so they can come over here and help me. So that's pretty much what that is. All right. So now you have this whole scene about Zach and Fatima. Right? Here we go. Let's break this on down. So they went around searching at these hospitals trying to find baby Michael. Okay. But they can't find him anywhere. So they said they're going to have to go to the courthouse tomorrow. But they don't even know that baby last name. Ain't that something? How you going to have a son and you don't even know your son's whole name? Anyway, so Zach said, man, this is some BS. Um, then he starts reflecting. He's just like, when I was out here doing what I was doing, I didn't think that it was going to end up like this. He was like, this my own flesh and blood, and that's crazy that I got to deal with this crazy broad. And then he was just like, and it was just one time. And look at me, I got a son out here. Child, it only take one time. I know this girl, they ain't even, she said they didn't even, I ain't gonna tell that lady business. Y'all so nosy. Y'all want to know too, don't you? I'm gonna tell you. She said that he barely even got it up, got it up in there, and she ended up pregnant. I said, God, dog, it don't take much, huh? A good ovulating body and some healthy sperm, child. Anyway, this is not sex education. Okay, now Zach said, yeah, and then Zach is starting to say, no, Fatima says, so we're going to just have to get custody of him. That's what we're going to have to deal with, right? But now Zach is like, man, like we just got together. Now we're going to have a child living with us in the beginning parts of our relationship. And then, as he always does, he asks Fatima, why are you putting up with this? And Fatima says, because I love you, mistakes happen. And Fatima's just like, we do all we can do. But Zach, everybody makes mistakes. And Zach said, well, you don't, you don't make mistakes like this. And then she breaks down and tells him what happened. That's why she kept talking about she had to go to therapy and regulate some thoughts, because come to find out, Fatima says that when she never wanted to talk about it, but when she was about 17 years old, her mom and dad were really, really strict. And there was this boy in the neighborhood that her parents told, it's always a boy in the neighborhood that your mom didn't tell you to stay away from. Oh, I got a story I want to tell y'all, but should I tell y'all? It'll be real quick. So my mom and dad and them was real, real strict too, right? They both pastors. And we stayed in the neighborhood too. And it's this boy, because I couldn't have boyfriends either. But I used to sneak on the phone and call this dude, or he'll call me or whatever. And he'll walk across because we stayed across the street from a school. So he'll walk across the school park, because he'll call me and say, I'm about to go to the store. So he'll walk across the school parking lot, and then I see him, I'll be looking out the window to see him walk through, and then I hurry up and run outside and meet him. And he used to smoke cigarettes and stuff. And that's how I used to see him, because he'd call me real quick and he'd say, I'm about to walk across to go to down there to the coat store. And so I just see him walking across them. And I run outside real quick. My mom and them didn't want me talking to him because he was smoking cigarettes and he was a dope boy. But anyway, that's enough about me and my business. That's neither here nor there. But anyway, but I ain't, But she said she hung out with him and got pregnant. And while she was at school, she said her gym teacher told her, her school teacher called her mom and told her mom to take her to the hospital. But then she ended up losing a baby. And she was really, really sad about it. And she said, you know what? I could have a child right now. But, she can't judge Zach on what he got going on. And then Zach was like, dang, but you was a kid. But Fatima was like, but it still hurt, But they still go and reassurance, like they still say that they love each other. And then Zach is like, man, if we would have met back then, we would have had a bomb kid. I was like, shoot, y'all need to be getting through school and get married and all this stuff. But y'all go right to the kids. Okay. And then Fatima says, but you know what? God knows best. God put people in your time at the right time and space where you need them to be in. So you thinking that you should have met this man when you was a kid, he probably wasn't even ready to meet you back then. So it's good that he met you when you needed to meet him. All right. And then she says that you're going to be a great father because you have so much passion and all that. And then she said that she can wait to have a baby, because I'm like, dang, I know she said she was pregnant on Fatima. So when is she going to say she's pregnant on Sistas? And okay. And then she says, you need to slow your roll because you already have 2 kids. And Zach is like, but he really wants to have a moment to where he can really share the whole process, because with Karen, they ain't together no more. And then you got Heather. He didn't even know the child existed. So this will be one child that he'll have with Fatima, to where he'll get to experience everything from the beginning to the end. And then Fatima like, ooh, don't play with me, honey, because you're gonna mess around and have 3. But at the end of the day, they just got to figure out how Michael doing. They're going to end up trying to go to the courthouse, and then they end up leaving to go home for the rest of the day. All right. So now, let's go and get down to this. Woo! When I tell y'all, ooh, all right. So back over at the Jordans, right? Danny is asking Penelope all these questions. Like, how did you meet Gary? But as a matter of fact, it's Danny and Sabrina. So Danny like, how did you meet Gary? And Penelope said they met on a blind date. So Sabrina is like, so how was it going so far? You know, in regards to Penelope and Gary dating. And Penelope like, yo, you know, it's going good. You know, he's wonderful, attentive, and when he's not traveling, because apparently he travels all the time, but he'd be down there at Andy's office every other day. So I guess he's traveling over there. And then, you know, Sabrina asks, like, when did you get engaged? You know, and then she said right when they found out that she was pregnant. And he said he bought her an apartment and a car. And then she showed him this picture of this dress. I'm like, is that Andy dress too? All right. So then it like, so he bought you a Rolls Royce? Here go Penelope. I don't like those types of cars, because I think people just get those cars for attention. I was like, ooh, Andy, is she talking about you? But she don't even know you. She think you're a good person. So that ain't about you. But here go Danny. And Danny says, ooh, that's one, because she had brought up Andy, because Andy has a Rolls Royce. And so she said, but look, her man bought hers too. Andy didn't buy hers, her man did. Penelope talking about some, so you have a Gary. I said, child, more than you know. Shoot, she got a Gary more than you got a Gary. And then Danny is like, yes, like the exact same person. I said, high five on that. And then Penelope brings up, you know, how much her brother Jordan likes Andy, and tell me he's a really, really good guy, and he's just like his father, and he's faithful, and all of that stuff. So Penelope says faithfulness is very important. She cannot date a guy that's unfaithful. Then it said, you'll be surprised. Never say never. You know, they'll be out here living a whole double life, and you will never know it. Be a whole polygamist. I said, you better tell her, Danny, without saying it. Say it without saying it. How many times can you say that Danny and Andy, that Penelope and Andy dating the same person without saying Gary? Tell it. All right. So then the guys, they walk over. And then Penelope started calling for Gary. Baby Gary, come over. So the guys, they started antagonizing him about all the information that they just heard. Gary over there looking dumb and stupid because he don't know what to say. And then the guys asked the girls to dance, right? So while they over there dancing, Jordan, he really can't dance or whatever, but they over there dancing. And then he asked Andy, what does he think about the sister? And then Jordan says, you know, she's been with a lot of bad guys, and he glad that Penelope met Gary. I was like, child, y'all finna have a rude awakening. So apparently the meat started to burn. So they smell all this burning meat. And then this is when Andy is like, this is our way out. We got to go. Like, I'm ready to leave. Like, we got to go right now. So Danny like, no, I'm finna tell her. I'm telling her right now. But Andy is like, no, you can't do that. I mean, look at her. Like, she has no idea. She's adorable. She's perfect. I can't do this to her. They're talking about Penelope, because Danny wants to tell Penelope what's really going on. So Danny is like, and that's why she deserves to know. And I'm on team Danny. I'm like, she do need to know. And Danny is like, Danny said, that's why she, Danny said, that's why I'm about to blow up this nigga spot. She said, I'm about to blow up this nigga spot. And I don't blame her. And then here go Andy. I can't do this to another black woman. What? And I wish Danny would have hauled back and slapped her in her face when she said that. I'm like, what do you mean you can't do this to another black woman when you want to see this black woman going through all of this? So it's okay to cover these men. Just so, I mean, come on. That's why she need to know. I'm with Danny 100%. That's why she need to know. And then it said, I'm the wrong woman to say that too. Like, he's destroying two black women's lives. And I totally agree. And he said, so what you gonna do? You gonna let him get away with that? And so she deserves that? Like, how would y'all feel if y'all the only one in the room that know that y'all man, supposed to be y'all man, the love of y'all life, y'all fiance, he buying you apartments and cars and vintage dresses, knowing that the girl right in front of you, he done bought them apartments and cars and jewelry and all this other stuff too. Like, I would want to know. Because at the end of the day, give me the choice to decide. Even if I didn't know in the beginning, give me the choice to decide if I want to move forward in a relationship with this stupid human being that I met, I fell in love with, and I'm about to have his baby. You know what I'm saying? Let me decide. And if I stay with him, shame on me. And if he keep continuing to hurt me, shame on me because I did know. You know? But I'm with Danny on this one. I'm with Danny. And Danny over there just like, she was like, that's why she deserved to know before she bring another baby, before she bring this baby into the world. Child. Dun, dun, dun. Penelope heard it. I said, okay. Tell me how you really feel. But yeah, I didn't like, I can't do this to another black woman, but you allow this black woman to get hurt. And with this, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, tell me the truth, because I can deal with the truth any day than deal with a lie. But anyway, y'all, this Sheila B. Lee. Y'all like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what y'all thought about this episode. I know I probably forgot a lot. Charge to my head and my heart. If Jesus loves y'all, y'all have a great day. Bye.